All right, everybody, welcome back to another Marmoris game here. We got week 2 of the CGL coming to you live. We have Aquarius here versus Bonkers. Bringing you all the action here tonight will be myself, NerdFighter, and with me here is Hamster. How you doing, man?
Hello, I'm feeling fantastic. I'm always up for some more Overwatch 2 action, and tonight I feel it in my bones. It's gonna be a good one. I'm ready for it.
It's going to be one hell of a match here. We're going to be starting off here on Ilios. What do you think these teams are going to be thinking about rolling out here with on Control?
Yeah, so honestly, Control, kind of a staple. We always typically go to Control first. Either we see Ilios or specifically in like the collegiate scene, we see a lot of Lijiang. So I think on Ilios, we're probably going to see a little bit more of brawly compositions. I mean, I'm a big fan of Boops, so we're probably going to see some Lucio, maybe even some Pharah as well. A lot to expect out of here, but I think the main thing to focus on is when we look at a lot of these control maps, they're a great tempo setter for the matches, where it figures out how these teams want to play against each other and what sort of pace they want to set. A lot of the times they get into a lot of brawls, a lot of fights early on, and it'll really kind of show which team is more dominant in what style of composition that they want to run. So I'm really excited for this.
You know, absolutely. One thing to keep in mind here is we're going to be starting out on Ruins here. It is the sniper map. Ilios is kind of unique amongst the control points there. There isn't a really big brawly map. There's maps for big environmental kills with that well, or Widow's playgrounds here on Ruins, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you said it already. It looks like Humble is hovering over that Widow. We'll have to see if that's what they're gonna stick. Maybe it's looking like it. On the other side, though, for Aquarius, no sniper hovered over just yet. They might be going for a bit more of a divey composition here.
I would be scared for Bear here if he's rolling out on the Echo without a Mercy, especially going into the hit scan of Humble. But it looks like both teams are going to be rolling out here.
Yeah, and we'll have to be very careful here, especially as Ember is just looking down on the battlefield. They're going to see a couple members spotted out. I think Aquarius understands what's happening here. Nothing quite out of Humble just yet. Does get half health. We'll have to see.
RTS does jump into the back there, making a play for the back line of Bonkers. Isn't able to find much, is forced to pull back there. They're going very deep right after that sniper, and Humble's the first casualty of this fight.
I mean, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to focus down the sniper, because in this 5v5 format, losing just one member can be so detrimental, especially when you're talking about Bear without a Mercy. But oh my goodness, picks are being picked up by Aquarius. That is 3-4 on the side of Aquarius, and they have full point control now.
They are sitting pretty here as that percentage will start to tick up. This dive is looking absolutely brilliant out of the side of Aquarius. And now we're going to see Ember here. We're going to get Ember here in the skies, trying to get something going here as Bonkers is trying to retake the point.
They have to be very careful. But yeah, as you said, this dive for the side of Aquarius is just doing exactly what it needs to do. Finding those easy targets. Scott's going to get taken down by Bear. A little bit of a trade here, but at the end of the day, Aquarius still walking away with the better half.
RTS jumps in first, and he's making that space for his Echo, as well as finding a pick himself. Now Doc is forced to fight in an unfair fight, as Big Tree does let the Pulse Bomb go and will be taking out the main tank for the side of Bonkers as they're forced to retreat.
Bonkers, they did their best to get a little bit of percentage on the point, but again, this dive composition working out so well for Aquarius. They're keeping and making so much space for themselves and just focusing down all the right targets. We even see Humble has been forced off of that Widowmaker onto a Tracer now because of that dive. And RTS, in a difficult situation, will get taken out.
RTS trying to control the high ground there, but it's going to be Doc who gets the better of him. Now, as Bonkers makes their way onto point, Ember is going to be cleaning them up, and Doc makes sure he's still in that kill feed as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the other side here. They are getting a little bit of percentage. I mean, Aquarius did their job, 54%. Just a couple of more good team fights, and the dive happens once more. Just able to barely live his Segi at the end of the day.
Aquarius walking up to this fight with a war chest of ultimates. RTS already be taken low. That's he's going to be backed up there by Sniper, keeping his main tank up But now we're going to see RTS going first, diving far into that back, but that Scott does Valk in response. That Mercy mid-air is so hard to hit, so hard to dive, and it looks like they bought enough time for Doc to be finding some massive picks there as he opens it up for his team. Bonkers are looking like they're here to clean up.
That's exactly what Bonkers is doing. They are cleaning up, and they really only needed to expend one ultimate at the end of the day. The Valkyrie was really the only thing, so they still have 4 ultimates online. But on the other side, Aquarius building up their own ultimate should have just about all 5 going into this next fight. We're about to see a crazy fight. I have a feeling here.
Lots about to happen here, but we do also have, it's kind of tricky. Bonkers is a very slippery composition, but it looks like they're going to try to lock him down using that Kitsune Rush. But Ember is just too much, getting that burst damage onto Bear, using that Mercy Pocket to his advantage. And now Ember is still wreaking havoc into that backline while the monkeys are dueling it out on point. Shan pulls out the sound barrier to try to sustain for his team, but it's met with one of Segi's Kitsune Rushes on the other side. It looks like Bonkers is, with that copy, is going to have so much presence here on this point.
Oh, the duplicate onto Bear, onto Humble's Tracer. Really an interesting pick here. Will get a little bit of damage, but Bear gets dropped down so low. I don't even know. We are going to see the Pulse Bomb come out, and it does find one. Will they find more? 99%. They have it. Aquarius needs to stay on point. They need to do something. They need to find these picks. But like you said before, this composition is just so squirmy. It's so wiggly. They can't lock down them, and they're just stalling out the point for longer and longer.
And now we're going to have RTS popping that Primal, trying to stay alive on the point, find any amount of time for those respawns. Shan is able to get there, but it looks like Bonkers is able to hold on to point A. Or the first round, at least.
What I like out of Bonkers is the adaptation that they had here. Like you said, especially on Ruins, a very sniper-heavy map, but they realized almost immediately that the Widow was not it, was not the pick, and we saw a quick adaptation, a quick switch over, and immediately they were able to change into a little bit more of a wiggly composition that really just Aquarius struggled to lock them down, do exactly what they wanted to do with the dive, and after they got 54%, they just couldn't get any more.
It will be curious who Aquarius is going to try to jump on here with that dive composition. I don't think we're going to see any changes out of either side here. Nope, it looks like we're going to be rolling out almost the exact same compositions.
Just about. Only difference is the Mercy and the Lucio, which, I mean, does make all the difference for sure, especially here on Well, where there is some boop potential.
That difference is already being felt as Bear goes down to his counterpart, and now with RTS going down as well, it looks like this point is all but Bonkers. And now with that Kiri going down, this should be a hard reset for the side of Aquarius.
Yeah, they just gotta regroup, regain, wait a little bit for everyone to come back together, try not to get individually picked and stalled out for a little bit longer. We're gonna see RTS putting on a little bit of pressure here, but again, just a little bit to keep his team safe. Oh no! It doesn't matter though, Humble's gonna take down LT.
It's so tricky now. Tanks aren't able to peel quite like they were here in Overwatch 1. Humble's able to get back into their back there in the leading healers, and now we have RTS falling as well. It will be traded out. The Mercy going down for the side of Aquarius might be the opening here that is the Mercy for the side of Bonkers going down. But now we also see Shan swapping over to the Mercy to match. Now we're gonna have a straight up mirror match here.
Yeah, a lot of times in Overwatch 2, we see if someone is beating you, it's kind of up to you to just switch over and do the exact same thing and try to beat them out in their game. Unfortunately, though, Bonkers just has the advantage here. They are not slowing down with their domination as they pick up 3 more kills at 57%, and they are just climbing. No signs of slowing down at all here.
Now they're going to push up here, maybe getting a little greedy, but also getting some extra ult percentage here. It's so interesting here with seeing the Echoes take one fight in the sky as the monkeys duel on the other side of the map. It's very split fights here.
Yeah, very split fights, especially as we see here. RTS is just going to get caught out all alone. 4 members of Bonkers just taking him down. Bear is able to find one, but immediately traded back out by Ember. And it seems like any time that Aquarius has an opening or an opportunity, that hole is immediately closed by Bonkers. They are not letting Aquarius get anything here, and the duplicate's going to come out. Now there's 2 monkeys on the side of Bonkers.
LTS sniper swapping over to that sniper. He's on the auto. He already found a pick on the opposing Tracer here. Let's see if that can be the opening here for Aquarius. As a Kitsune rush from Segi, he's trying to get some work done. But he will trade his life for that use of the ultimate. And now Ember finds 2 as the Primal for RTS is going crazy on the point. Scott's going for a bit of a cheeky res. He's able to bring his Kiri back into the fight. That team now has all their sustain back. That Zeus is going to be used immediately. Now Ember able to find the counter Mercy. And that will be Aquarius not able to get on the point.
Ooh, and Bonkers taking Ilios in a fairly dominant fashion here. I will say round 1, it was very much back and forth. Aquarius was doing a great job of being able to open up the point for themselves and make some space. But after that, Bonkers has just been fully in control of Ilios. And Aquarius just looked a little lost. They weren't quite able to find what they needed to.
I think it's really interesting in these compositions, seeing where teams want to pour their resources into. And from the get-go, Bonkers was pouring more of their resources into their DPS. And that was paying massive dividends there. So now we're going to go to a fan favorite here on King's Row. Probably get a little bit more brawly, a lot less divey. Maybe even some Reinhardt. Well, probably not, but...
Well, maybe. I feel like you never know. King's Row is one of those fun maps where you can play almost anything, and sometimes you can make it work. And that's why I love King's Row, because it's like that old faithful that everyone loves to come back to, and because we've played it and we've seen it so many times, sometimes people just like to go a little bit crazy with it, and I like to see people get creative.
I would love to see a little Reinhardt and a Mei combination, right? The Mei wall shortens up those charges, makes sure those one taps come through very quickly and without a lot of risk to that Reinhardt.
Yeah.
So that plus Lucio could be something we see here on King's Row.
Oh, I hope so. And I feel like King's Row. I feel like King's Row is really only one map that you can really viably run Mei kind of safely and effectively.
Until we get Shambali Monastery in some of these rotations, I'll have to agree with you. True. It is kind of trickier. Yeah, Mei's so good on that map. Mei gets a lot of purchase here on payloads or in hybrid maps in general, but maybe a map like Eichenwald that's in the pool where like Mei's just never going to be played on Eichenwald.
Exactly. Man, I forgot about Monastery, but yeah, hopefully when we see that in rotation, we'll see a little bit more play of Mei. I know it's not everyone's favorite character, but I feel like everyone needs to have a niche in some regards, and so Mei having her own kind of area makes me a little bit happy.
Well, and on top of that, we don't have the tank synergies from Overwatch 1 anymore, so that Mei Reinhardt synergy is kind of the closest thing we get.
Oh, very true. I didn't even think about it like that, but you're 100% correct. We need more synergies.
Can you tell I was an off-tank player?
Yes, I can. I'm beginning to recognize that.
All right, well, we're getting into game here, and it looks like we're going to have Bonkers back on this dive composition that worked for them so well here on Ilios.
Yeah, you said we might not see the dive, but King's Row brings us something new every time. Interestingly enough, Bear on the Torb. The turret will get immediately spotted out and taken down, but you always love a good Torb every now and then.
Dog dives for the high ground and immediately drops back, and we got RTS trying to hold the front line against the dive of Bonkers. Aquarius is on a pretty firmly anti-dive composition. We'll see what this Torbjorn can get done. The answer is not much. He goes down first.
Oh man, Bear tried to stay alive for so long, but Ember on the side of Bonkers has quite literally been going bonkers this entire series. Of course, as I say that, Caster Curse Ember gets taken down, but not before taking out LT Sniper. So again, Bonkers still in a good position, and Doc just playing so annoyingly, jumping back and forth from the high ground onto the point.
Yeah, Aquarius still has people here. Shan is trying to contest, and I believe we got RTS here in the hotel. Big Tree's been running around the point trying to cause chaos on that soldier, staying alive, doing the best he can, but now it's going to be Doc diving forward into that archway, trying to buy that space for that last tick. as the point is now currently contested. Ember on the floor in a possibly dangerous spot, but Scott immediately pops out of Valkyrie to keep his keep his Echo in the fight, and it looks like it will be the point going over to the side of Bonkers.
A great fight from them. They were able to draw out the fight long enough to just make it a 1v1 at the end of the day, where we just kept seeing Aquarius trickle in, but time after time again they were taken out. And oh my gosh, Doc is hungry, looking for more. The secondary fire just dealing damage to Bear, able to take him out, push RTS off there, and it's a full reset for Aquarius. They need to run, but look how deep Doc is.
Doc is diving almost all the way up to third as the cart is now starting to make its way through that first archway. It is so critical for them to push up here. They want to fight around the second choke point here, where it's a lot more favorable for this dive where they can set up on the high ground. And we got poor Segi back here on the cart as all the action's going down here. We got Ember letting those sticky bombs go as RTS is trying to create some sort of defense here for the side of Aquarius. Now we have the copy coming out. We got 2 soldiers on the field. Ember as a damage boosted Sojourn, just as deadly as a damage boosted Echo. RTS lets that Terror Surge fly for the side of Aquarius, isn't able to find much, but it's Big Tree finding Doc with the rail. That main tank going down for the side of Bonkers might be the purchase that Aquarius needs here to finally get their defense going.
It is indeed. I mean, Doc was just playing so slippery, was able to stay alive for so long. So finding that kill really just forces Bonkers back. But now with RTS gone, the tides have immediately turned and Bonkers have that advantage. Of course, we are going to see a Molten Core on point, making it so difficult to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, the Segi tried to Kitsune Rush there, trying to push the advantage after getting that first pick, but the Molten Core just all over the Kitsune Rush does render that ultimate ineffective. So now it looks like it's going to be another defense here and another hold for Aquarius.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of holding right here in alleyway, right after Bookstore, just able to use these tight corridors to their advantage. Of course, as I say that, Humble just humbles LT Sniper, who was playing up as the VAP instantly gets taken out. And now they're just being pushed back. They can't do anything. Ember's gonna find Big Tree. Humble's gonna find Bear's turret. What can they do?
RTS on the ball to try to get back to his team as fast as possible, but it looks like it was all for naught, as it does look like it's Aquarius pushing firmly, or Bonkers pushing firmly here into point B. The ball's still alive here. He's gonna try to get something going, but he's gonna pull back, and it looks like he's gonna take the smart. He's just gonna do the smart play and try to reset with his team.
I mean, what can you do as a lonely ball against the rest of Bonkers? There's only so much. Again, we see Doc playing so aggressively, pushing these DPS, pushing Aquarius off of the high ground, taking it for the team. Now you have 4 members up here, and Doc is just looking for more people to harass, finds his target, and is hunting this Mercy down.
Doc is in deep. He's trying to build up to that primal. That anti-nade will be his parting gift, though, as he's forced back to jump back towards his team. But now we got Humble letting that overclock go, already finding Bear. We'll see if he can find more. We got Scott, Resin, Ember back in the fight. Now it's a 5v4 in favor of Bonkers. RTS is now on the Diva. That's his 3rd tank swap here. Scott's Valkyrie will end as Shan pops theirs. But it looks like both teams are kind of in a bit of a stalemate as Ember's in the sky trying to find something onto the Diva on this of Aquarius. RTS dives now up to the high ground, trying to create some space for his team. Has the help of Shan. The LG Sniper does also have the Nano at the ready, but now it's going to be Doc diving in. The Nano does go into RTS to try to counter dive, but now we got Doc with the Primal juggling LT Sniper. We'll see if he can get the environmental, but it's also the Kitsune Rush on point for Sexy. With all the extra movement speed and all that extra attack speed, won't be enough. Whereas RTS finds one and Big Tree finds one as well.
Yeah, we see Aquarius, they're holding their own. They are going to be able to clean up these stragglers, and they're staying alive for just a little bit longer. Although, on the side of Bonkers, they're okay with taking a loss or 2 while they build up and rebuild up their ultimates. 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left on the clock, so they still have plenty of time. They still have plenty of fights to take here. Something to note, though, on the side of Aquarius, they do have 2 ultimates and 2 substantial ultimates at that. Molten Core and that Diva Bomb is, as I say, Molten Core is popped as Doc goes in on the high ground.
And Molten Core comes out. It's going to slow the attack here of Aquarius. Humble is sitting on a fully charged rail shot. RTS peels the dive of Doc, trying to make sure that Monkey cannot find much. The Echo for the side of Bonkers is under a lot of pressure here from all angles. That Torbjorn and the Ana pushing that Echo so greatly. RTS is going to take a quick little remake here as Doc dives in. Doc sitting here behind point, trying to get something going. Ember goes in deep around that mini, trying to find something. Is able to find Bear, but RTS trades it out for the life of Doc. And now we have a 4v4 here on point as both Mercies pop the Valkyries.
I really love what we're seeing out of Aquarius. They have been able to really dig in their heels and hold back Bonkers, who look like they were quite frankly just going to steamroll through this map. But we have seen Aquarius just a little bit of switch up adaptation, able to stay alive, take back these high grounds. I think, as you mentioned before, RTS swapping over to 3 different tanks. This D.Va is working out exactly as they need it to.
D.Va's playing so well into that Sojourn and so well into the Echo, making those stickies are so often so telegraphed and such an easy eat for D.Va players now.
True.
But now it's going to be the overclock coming out for the side of Big Tree. Immediately finds Ember. There's no Echo for the side of Bonkers. Big Tree also follows up onto that Monkey, and he gets himself a little 3-piece.
Oh my. It was so good too. Big Tree getting a 3-piece into the Kitsune Rush. One of, if not the strongest ultimate in the game, completely shutting out that Kitsune Rush. Sege has to just walk back, you know, in defeat basically at this point, and Big Tree's gonna find another one.
Humboldt will trade out Big Tree, and Ember is now rezzed. I believe this puts Aquarius in a 5v4 situation. Doc pops the Primal. The Molten Core comes out for the side of Bear, and the D.Va Bomb will be just a small egg laid on point, and that egg does massive work. Absolutely clearing the point, and it looks like Aquarius got the kills in the kill feed, but it looks like they don't have control over the point here. Big Tree with his little Mercy Pocket doing what he can to stall it out, but Shan goes down. Big Tree soon to follow. Bear is going to get the touch in. RTS is going to come in and put a lot more health onto this point. But it's all going to be cut down by the Echo of the side of Bonkers. That focusing beam doing too much damage, and they will find the cap in overtime.
Wow, what a fight. I mean, it really did look like Bonkers was just going to run away with this map, but they've completed it, yes, which is always great, but they have no time in their bank. So, I mean, if we want to see Aquarius have a little bit of an advantage, they just need to come into this point, finish out this map with a little bit more than 0 on their time bank, and they'll have a little bit of an advantage if we can go into overtime. Now, that's a lot of ifs though, because Bonkers looked really, really strong at the start of this map. They might be able to continue that dominance and just prevent Aquarius from even starting this map or getting to the second checkpoint at all, or even getting close to finishing. So it'll be something that I'm sure all of the players are thinking of, keeping in the back of their mind, that they just don't want to get stuffed out early here.
Yes, Aquarius does have a win condition set for them, but it is all the way at the end of point C, whereas Bonkers has a chance here to win on A, B, or C. They got a few more chances here.
Yeah, but they don't want to rest on their laurels too much, because sometimes we've seen some teams get a little bit too overconfident about their performance, and then they just get steamrolled.
Well, and especially it does look like Aquarius has found something here on third. We'll see. I don't expect them to roll out with a Torp here on attack. That's a little bit of a harder sell. But it looks like the D.Va is playing really well into the Winston.
Yeah, I agree with this pick. The RTS sticking on the D.Va. Bear, as you said, not going to stay on that Torb. It seems like a difficult sell on attack, although we did see Ember and that duplicate turn into Bear's Torb and get a massive amount with that Molten Core, but I think the Bastion will just do more for the side of Aquarius at this point.
We do have Bear on the Bastion. He's so deadly in that Terraform. He's going to be forced back into that recon mode where he stood up straight, is able to pick off the main tank of the side of Bonkers, and now it's just going to be the DPS left, just a Tracer and an Echo, a Hope and a Dream, and looks like Ember's so low he's forced to recall, but Big Tree eventually gets him here, and it looks like Aquarius means business with a quick fight on point A.
And this is almost what we've seen out of Bonkers, just flipped, right? We see Aquarius doing almost the same exact thing, pushing very, very strong and hard forward, and almost able to cap this point instantaneously. We are going to see Doc come back as the Diva, but instantaneously just gets blown up as soon as he touches point.
Yep, Bear doing absolutely massive damage here on the on the Bastion, but as I say, that is taken out by an Echo. It looks like Bonkers isn't done yet. They are pushing into this fight, but now with a Slep Tank on the point, it's a little iffy here. LT Sniper will go down. And now RTS is looking a little iffy here. He has no Ana to help him, just the Mercy heals, and Aquarius has come back in.
Aquarius, they're still here on point. Interestingly enough, RTS did have that Diva Bomb available, could have used it and kind of scattered the rest of Bonkers, but played it safe, kept that ultimate, so we are going to come into this fight with Aquarius sitting on potentially 4, 5, almost all of the ultimates to use at their disposal.
I'm going to be looking here at LT Sniper and where he chooses to put that Nano. A Nano boosted overclock can be so deadly, but RTS gobbles up the Pulse Bomb from Humble, denying that ultimate from the Tracer at all. And now we got a barrage of missiles on the point coming out from the Bastion, all from Bear. Big Tree is able to find 2 here, as that Nano boosted overclock is doing so much damage.
You cannot escape the Nano boosted overclock. Are you kidding me? That's so much damage, and especially from what we've seen out of Big Tree, like we saw at the end of last round where Big Tree was just popping off, it absolutely makes sense to give the Nano to Big Tree, and we see as Big Tree and Bear clean up that fight, Aquarius is able to get checkpoint 1, they're able to get the payload, and they're able to push forward. An interesting angle here, not quite able to push quite as far as we saw Bonkers push up, but they are making their presence known.
A little bit more of a conservative hold here, just want to make sure they secure that archway. But now it's going to be the Kitsune rush out from Sexy, and now it's Bonkers' time to go. They push in, and now that bomb is going to come out from the side. Doc isn't able to find much, but Big Tree is able to find the Mercy from the side of Bonkers. And now, but it will be Bonkers with the numerical advantage here. It's a 4v3, and it looks like Aquarius just wants to back off.
Yeah, they are going to back up. Interestingly enough, I mean, like, RTS has still been holding on to this Diva Bomb. I'm not sure what RTS is waiting for, but still has that bomb available to them. Really the only ultimate on the side of Aquarius, same on the side of Bonkers. They just have Ember with the duplicate. So again, just being a little patient, a little conservative with their ult usage.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to be that little unarmed dude with a Nerf gun in the middle of a massive gunfight. That can be terrifying. Sometimes you're better off in that Diva form, but it's going to be Ember finding 2 here, nullifying any of that damage reduction from the side of Aquarius, and just tearing into that team. Doc gets a little parting gift there onto the Ana, and it's going to be another hold here in this archway.
Yeah, and if you're Aquarius, I bet you're feeling some frustration at this point, not quite able to break this hold of Bonkers. A good push from RTS is able to kind of sweep them out of that higher ground. But again, still not able to find the picks that they're looking for, not quite able to open up this site. They've been trying, and time is just slipping away from them.
Yeah, the frustrations here are mounting as time does keep slipping away. Bear is now on to that Symmetra, kind of showing some of those frustrations. Maybe also giving this team some of that extra mobility. Splitting the attention up here from the side of Bonkers. But it's RTS who finally uses that Diva Bomb and gets 2 with the remake. Who needs the bomb? Just the remake ultimate is all you need. And now with Doc being forced to remake and sent back to spawn, that's exactly what Aquarius needed to crack open this point B defense.
We did see on the side of Bonkers getting a little bit overzealous there. We saw Segi, you know, using the protection Zuzu to get through the Diva Bomb, looking a little overconfident, hunting for the Diva, and instead just immediately gets punished by a mech slamming down onto them. This is what I was talking about. Can't get too overzealous. You can't get too big of a head, or else you will get punished for it.
And now it looks like we got Bonkers putting up their last fight here, their last final hold on point B. We got ults flying left and right. That's going to be the bomb from Doc as Embers popped out of the duplicate form, back into the Echo form. Shan goes for a res onto Bear. That's the Sim brought back into the fight for the side of Aquarius, but he's immediately taken back out by Ember on that Echo. And now it looks like as they're trying to regroup there, it's Aquarius is being forced back into this alleyway and into this small room, which is not where you want to be against an Echo. Not with that focus beam, not with that damage boost, and that's all the way. They were going to push all the way back into that archway.
This Echo is unstoppable. You cannot. Oh, they're just going to leave him alive. They're just going to leave RTS alive to stagger the team even more.
They're doing the owl thing. They did it.
They did the thing. They did the thing.
That is a big stagger for RTS. Now with only 9 seconds left, it's iffy on if RTS can even make it back to this fight. Their team has to go. That now it's going to be RTS swapping over the ball. He knows time is short. It looks like they will get the touch, and the Photon Barrier comes out from Bear, trying to give his team some sustainability. And Shan having to use that res already, but does give their life for it. And now Ember taking out Big Tree. That's a lot of DPS missing to the side of Aquarius. Bonkers is looking absolutely bonkers right now. This defense is untouchable, as it's Ember just cleaning up with that focus beam. And Humble gets one more in the kill feed, stamping his name on this fight.
What can you do? It's a lonely ball against the entirety of the Bonkers squad. And with that, Bonkers will take King's Row. This is a first to 3, not a best of 5, or well, I guess it is technically a best of 5, but not a best of 3. It's a first to 3. And Ember, of course, will get play of the game once more. It looks like we have at least one more map coming up after this. And I don't know what Aquarius can do to fix up these kind of holes that are in their defense here, in their play. Because you have members like Ember on the other side that are just popping off.
Right, when we're in these kind of not necessarily contenders or collegiate level teams, we do have this issue where skill expression becomes so much, it becomes felt so much more, right? Where maybe the theoretical solution here might be running right, like an Orisa, Kiri, Lucio rush into this dive. But in theory, that might be it, but maybe LT Sniper isn't as comfortable on the Kiriko, or you have some other hero pool issues as well.
I agree with that. And if you're going to run an effective Kiriko, yes, the character is so good. In my opinion, has the best ultimate in the game, but you're missing out if you do not have a very competent player who knows that they can hit the headshots, can get that 3x damage. You might as well just run something different, like that Ana that we see LT Sniper looks a little bit more comfortable on. It does. Typically, you got to look at it as what is, the competitive, what is the meta, and what are you more comfortable on. So no, keep going.
Oh no, it's fascinating here. A lot of people are saying like Ana's not playable just because Kiri exists, right? And Ana does derive a lot of her value from that anti-nade that is erased by Kiriko. But with that extra 5 damage she does now on her primary fires to enemies and whatnot, she can start to find value not just in that nade. She can start to find value in that long-range poke, finishing off an Echo in this guy, finishing off a Mercy in this guy. And maybe that damage is just enough on a map like Gibraltar here for LT Sniper to run out on this Ana.
I'm excited. I know LT Sniper has been looking good throughout the entirety of this series, just a little overshadowed by what Bonkers has been able to do. But you're right, Gibraltar offers a lot of space, a lot of long line of sights, long angles that LT Sniper could start stepping up here, going a little crazy with the Ana.
And we've seen a lot of great aggression from RTS come out as well. And I think he feels more comfortable being even more aggressive when he knows the Ana's behind him as opposed to the Kiriko as well. So that can be a massive morale boost here as well, as the first point unlocks here.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Ana does have more healing and more sustained healing than that Kiriko, especially if you know that you're backed by a sniper who can hit those shots. So I would feel more comfortable too going a little aggressive if I knew that LT Sniper was behind me.
And we already have RTS up here on the high ground, getting in the face of that Winston, trying to cause some some chaos and some space here for the Bear, as those stickies are forcing Doc off the high ground here. This is a great little setup dive for the side of Aquarius.
Bear gets dropped very, very low, able to get sustained and healed back up, and then Doc forced off the high ground once more. Aquarius, a great strong start here. They know where to put the damage, and it is very effective.
It looks like both teams just want to fight around the control of this blue box here. But it also will be Sexy in the back here on the high ground that's a little exposed, but it's Doc exposing the back line of Aquarius, diving in deep and finding 2.
Yeah, and then Ember finishing up Shan as well with that. Aquarius will just need to back off and reset. Humble's going to find RTS, the D-Mech, which sometimes is a little bit better than even getting the full kill. And with that, it's a full reset.
RTS was knocked out into that baby D.Va form. Had to swap to the Doom, swap back to the D.Va just to get back in mech there. But with now keeping that ult percentage is not too big of a deal. So he does lose a little ult percentage there, but nothing too crazy. You've got a Pulse Bomb out already from Humble, and that's an early pick onto the backline from Aquarius.
Oh no, and the other support line will get taken out by Ember once more. As a Mercy, it is just very difficult to escape that Echo. Humble's gonna find Bear. They had
You saw Shan think about that res. You saw him think about it, and in that moment as they thought about it, a monkey just sat on him.
You gotta be careful any sort of hesitation. Yeah, exactly.
But now it will be RTS here initiating onto the backline as the card has made it almost all the way here to A, just in the at the gates here. But now RTS is forced back to retreat towards that mini. Doc now diving onto that high ground, trying to deny the sightlines from LT Sniper, make sure those anti-nades aren't able to fly, but that's a massive nade and a combo on that will be taking out the backline of Bonkers, but the backline for Aquarius is traded out. We got Doc in a Primal Rage trying to buy some time for his respawns, but it looks like it's a 4v2 on point. Can they buy the time? And no, it looks like this will be Bonkers backing up and Aquarius capping point A.
Something good out of Bonkers, though, is they were able to hold that point for a decent amount of time. Doc just staying alive. I don't know if you saw it, but Humble went down to practically 0 health, 1 HP, and was able to rewind that, heal back up instantaneously. So again, both of them doing a great job of just stalling out, wasting time, realizing that they're probably going to get it, but if they can waste time, if they can chip that time away, that's all they need in order to get an advantage later on in this map.
And now we're going to have both teams dueling over the control of Space Shuttle. We know control of this high ground is so critical on this point, especially after those doors shut. And now we're going to have the copy come out for the side of Barry. He's on that Winston, but as quickly as he's used that ultimate, he is knocked out of it. RTS now diving in, trying to find some space into that back line. And he's able to bully the Winston and buy some team space for his team, but Ember is able to find his counterpart.
Oh, but RTS able to find two.
And now Big Tree is following up with another kill onto that backline. RTS with another pick, this time using that remech to D-Mech, the copy of Ember here.
Yeah, that's confusing.
That was a confusing kill feed to read, absolutely. But now we're gonna have Doc trying to get something done in the backline, harassing that Ana, but now LT Sniper uses that nano boost. That support all is gonna be just giving his team the extra durability they need to close out this point. Humble's going to try to get one, but it will be for naught as Shan's able to bring him straight back into the point, and Aquarius is looking on a roll here, capping point B.
I'm honestly surprised at how many reses Shan has been able to get. It almost is like Shan is resing on cooldown and getting away with some of them. Yeah, we did see early on Shan was punished for it as we saw Doc just land right on the Mercy, but at this point Shan is getting away with most of them and is just able to bring the fight back to a neutral stance or even give an advantage to Aquarius because of those reses. And we're starting to see that Doc understanding the problem, just trying to hunt down this Mercy first.
Doc diving in deep, knowing he had that Primal Rage, is forced to pop it. He's brought down to about half health, and now we've got the Tracers both trading out kills here. But that pick onto LT Sniper removing the heals for the side of Aquarius might be more impactful. Now we got a nano boosted Winston as Doc jumps in, is able to quickly delete that Echo, and we got LT Sniper going down to a pulse, and it seems like the ultimates here have stabilized the defense.
They were able to use a good bit of ultimates to just secure the defense, as you said. Aquarius, on the other hand, still building up their ultimates. We do see RTS has Bomb, Big Tree's got Pulse, so they have a couple of ultimates coming into this. Scott, really the only one on the side of Bonkers to have an ultimate. LT Sniper, gonna get a little bit cheeky sniper shot on the Humble.
Yeah, he's taking that Tracer 1v1 all day long, and now I'm looking here at Big Tree sitting on that Pulse Bomb with nothing on the side of Bonkers to really cancel it. There's no Zuzu, there's no Lamp, there's no Defense Matrix. It's a free Pulse Bomb, it seems like. But now it's going to be Bear doing some damage from the sky, finding that pick onto the Mercy. Now missing that damage boost and missing all that health is so critical. Doc does trade back one on the support line. He finds that Ana again, but it looks like it is just Doc here as he's trying to... He gives himself a little bit of a reset, a quick trip back to spawn. And now it's Shan in that Valkyrie keeping their team alive, and that, as it does look like Bonkers is just trickling onto point, but as they trickle, Ember is able to find one. Shan finds another res though, absolutely massive, bring their team back into full strength. It's 5v5, and now we have Doc onto the Orisa, trying to spin his way to victory. A bomb comes out from a copied Echo, is able to find two, and then another one with a remake, absolutely massive from the side of Ember here. And that's 4 with that Echo. Absolute massive plays coming here from Ember.
Please nerf Ember. Ember is going insane right now. Not only the Diva Bomb kill, but the remake kill as well. Are you kidding me? As well as a kill after the duplicate ends as well. Ember's just going for MVP at this point.
And now Big Tree's down early. That does not bode well for this side of Aquarius. But now we got Bear copying that Orisa with that extra fortified and that extra damage on point. The Terror Surge from the Echo isn't able to find much. And now that's going to be Scott bringing back his Echo into that fight. But Bear finds one and is complemented here by the dive of RTS and Big Tree. And Big Tree lets that Pulse Bomb fly, finding the final blow on the Orisa. That will be point C capped for the side of Aquarius.
Wow. I mean, the Echo players on both of these teams have kind of been popping off, really. Obviously, Ember, we could talk about them all day long. Really, the MVP got play of the game for both Ilios and Kings Row. Looking for play of the game on Gibraltar as well. But Bear really stepping up, coming into their own as well. Just making a name for the team, making some space for the team, and getting the picks when they need to happen, which, of course, complemented by the other DPS, Big Tree, as well as, you know, RTS on the Diva, LT Sniper throwing out some damage and massive heals, and Shan just getting those reses, staying alive, being a Wiggly Mercy to just bait Bonkers into an unfavorable fight.
I think it's so interesting also to watch what these tanks can do. Diva with 4-second boosters and a knockback on those boosters is able to really control Doc and kind of corral him around these high grounds, opening up a lot of space for that Echo as well.
I completely agree, but I love the image of just RTS going, hey, come on this way, buddy. We're going this way, corralling Doc into the direction that they want to go.
See, now you have me thinking about like Diva and her little mech squad, if you got them all in their mechs, and then just herds of Orisas. And they're just herding them like sheepdogs across an open field. Now that's all I'm thinking about.
Oh my gosh, you have that image in my head now too.
But Diva does in her off time.
I believe it. I 100% believe it. And I hope we see that in the future as Bear is going to open up the battle with a kill on Ember, winning the Echo 1v1. LT Sniper going to quickly trade out Humble as well. A good start for Aquarius.
That's the second pick from LT Sniper onto a Tracer player. He is his own Peels at this point. He's looking untouchable in the backline. But it's Ember finding the difference onto Bear. That focusing beam with that Mercy damage boost was just too much. Now this fight's kind of devolved into a 4v4. Ember does take to the sky, trying to find the backline of Aquarius, poking him down here. But now we're going to see another classic fight here around this blue box as both teams struggle for high ground control.
Indeed, but look at LT Sniper building up that ultimate percentage, especially when you compare it to Segi. LT Sniper almost at 80%, Segi at 50%. LT is hitting these shots.
What RTS gets in the face of that Ana player and denies any healing or damage they could have done, and then finds the pick. But Humble decides to not look at LT Sniper, and what a great decision that was as he finds two, one onto the opposing Tracer and taking out that Mercy as well. And now with that 2k out from that Tracer, it looks like that will be the magic potion for Bonkers to crack open point A.
Oh my gosh, that one just play by Humble has completely opened up this site. Aquarius crumbles after that, and that first site is taken in very quick succession. 4 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock, and Bear's gonna get hunted down as well. Oh no, this is not looking good for our heroes right now, as we are just seeing Aquarius get taken down one by one.
We are seeing the great scramble for the spaceship, and it is Big Tree using that ultimate, so he will not have that pulse bomb for the next fight, but Doc and Ember will be controlling this spaceship, and it is so critical here to have that high ground control. Bear looks to poke a bit early, RTS dives in, trying to contest this high ground now. Ember is dropped kind of low, and now we're going to see here what these Echoes can get done.
If we've seen anything like we've seen earlier today, we know it is a lot that can get done. LT Sniper is going to nano boost Big Tree. RTS able to find a Humble, looking for more. Ember, interesting duplicate onto the Ana. Oh, never mind. Why was I doubting it? Doc gets the nano boost and is hunting for the members of Aquarius.
We also got Segi here now on that Kiriko, just living forever. That extra Zuzu is enough to keep themselves alive. Now we're going to see that Kitsune Rush come out, and now Bear is in that duplicated Echo form, going to use that bomb to try to deny any value of that Kiri Rush. But it will be Shan going down to Ember in that focusing beam. Humble now doing work. As soon as he's not looking at that Ana, he is just all in that kill feed.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It is interesting when Humble decides to go away from the support, away from LT. Humble's able to get kills, but if Humble tries to take that 1v1 versus LT Sniper, LT is all over it.
I think also as he's trying to get back towards that Ana, he's isolating himself so much that the dive from his own team wasn't able to follow it up. Now this way he's able to follow up with Doc a bit more and dive more cohesively as a team. Now we're going to have Aquarius making their way out of spawn. We got Big Tree on a Soldier and LT Sniper on a Moira. Moira did recently get some buffs. We'll see what he can get done here. Does tend to build a very fast ultimate, but Doc launching that bomb into the back isn't able to find much. Everyone ran for cover, but Shan going down early to Humble. Humble doing work now, but Bear keeping his team in this. Now both teams will be missing their mercies. No res is available. And now Ember getting the better of Bear here in that Echo duel. Doc now going to try to dive in, see if he can't force RTS back into this spawn. Now Ember also onto a D.Va. We got 3 D.Vas on the point. All no risks to her, but just the members of Aquarius. And now Big Tree with the tac visor trying to find anything, but he had 2 D.Vas in his face. Immediately shut down that ultimate. And now Ember's still doing work, finds a 3rd kill in this fight. Humble says, don't forget about me, is able to find 1 onto the back line, but Ember 4 in the fight, making sure that this point is his.
I mean, yeah, that is just Ember putting a stamp down on the point. 4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. They have so much time to work with here.
Ooh, so much time for the side of Bonkers, but Aquarius has 1 minute to cook something up here. Do you expect him to switch up anything here? Or like 1 minute you got what, maybe 1 shot, 2 if you're fast about it? Is it time for a comp switch?
Personally, I would love to see a comp switch, just something crazy and out there, but I think, in my professional opinion, they'll probably stick with what they've been running because they're warmed up on it, they're comfortable with it, and they know that they can make some space if all things go to plan. And that's exactly what they're hovering here. They do look like they're hovering the same composition, not going to make it complicated. They just want to run the same thing and see how far they can get.
Well, maybe I gained a little too.
One of the things I absolutely love about Dive is the skill ceiling is almost infinite. As if you can clean up your comms a bit and get on the same page with your team, you can look like an absolutely different team from one attack to the next.
A balanced 1v1.
I completely agree. Dive is kind of one of those beautiful artistic expression forms of composition that we've seen a lot, where some people can do it really, really well and some people struggle to get out the right strokes, but I don't know. So far, from what we've seen out of Bonkers, they have just been hitting all the right notes. They've been doing exactly what they need to, taking down the targets that they need to, and jumping on when they need to.
We are seeing some slight compositional differences. We got both sides running Kirikos. Everyone's over the anti-nades. They go to the new fun hero. And now we got D.Vas here dueling up on the high grounds, as we expect to see, with Tracers pushing the cart as they chug along here.
Trying to get Doc off this high ground is a Sisyphusian task, if you will. Doc just is able to lock down this high ground so well and push others around, able to really make this space his own. And even the point, Humble gonna take down Big Tree.
Now there's a Tracer unchecked in the back. Can LST Sniper keep himself up against that Tracer? But it looks like now with Doc diving in, it's no longer a question. They are pushed back, and they only had a minute.
I didn't even realize. I was ready to sit back here, watch them push a little bit further. But you're right. They ran out of time. 45 meters. That is not very far, especially when you consider how much time Bonkers have. I mean, 4 minutes just to get halfway to checkpoint 1. This will be a very difficult hold for Aquarius, but a legendary one if they can do it.
This is I don't know if you remember from 2016, but this is OG Point A. When Gibraltar had 4 checkpoints.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
so
you're bringing me back.
Right? So this first checkpoint here, where Bonkers is gonna try to push the point. This is essentially old school Point A, man. Maybe we see some sim. Do we see sim comps?
I hope. We are seeing a little bit of changes from both sides. Actually, a lot of changes. What am I talking about? Lots of changes, particularly on the side of Aquarius. They said, you know what, we need all new heroes if we're going to make this hold happen. And Doc, tired of playing the Diva, tired of playing the Winston, wants to go with something a little bit different and is here with the queen herself.
Oh, we'll see if he actually does roll all the way out with it, or he has. We'll see how long he sticks on it now. They got a lot of time to experiment. 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock here for the side of Bonkers. They're taking their time to maybe experiment with some new comps from future patches, let's say. RTS immediately blown up. So much burst damage, and now without a Mercy on that side, that's just the tank removed from the fight entirely.
What do you do? What can you do against the Junker Queen and an Echo just exploding you? The rest of the team is getting pulled and pushed out of position. Ember doing so much damage. All of the deployables are taken out and they're looking for more.
They are hunkered down in this little mega room that can be so hard to take when the defense is all bunched up like that. Now RTS has rejoined the fight and is providing that protection for his team. Now charging forward in that Fortify. And it looks like they have bought themselves a stay of an execution here, at least for the moment.
I am very surprised. It definitely looked like Bonkers was just going to run away with it. But like you said, using that small room perfectly to their advantage, Aquarius was able to stay alive long enough for their tank to come in, and they were able to pick up those kills as Doc got a little overzealous, pushed a little too far, put himself out of position.
You see a couple changes here. Now we got Humble for the side of Bonkers, now over to that Echo, looking for that burst damage for a little bit more long-range fighting. But it's going to be RTS taking down Doc at the opening of this fight with the help of that BAP window. That double damage is too much for the side of Bonkers. But Ember decides that this might still be winnable. He's able to find Shan in the back. Now without that Lucio, it looks like Aquarius will try to hunker down at this small point as they're lacking all their mobility.
Alright, Ember does have duplicate online. Scott has Valkyrie. The window comes down, and we're going to see the Orisa switch. Oh, you have to be so careful, especially in this tiny room. Ember's just trying to put out damage. The lamp is taken down.
We traded out windows here, and now we've also traded out Valkyries for a tac visor. So much damage coming out here in this small hallway, but it's going to be Big Tree finding Humble with that Helix rocket. And now the cascade of kills comes in for the side of Aquarius. 1 minute, 40 seconds here, just past halfway through, and it looks like Aquarius might be able to hold on.
Oh, it's looking like it. They're able to use this room so well to their advantage. They have so many deployables, the lamp, the turret. There's so many things that Bonkers can target that they don't necessarily want to, but have to at times. And it's just making it so difficult to take a fight into this room.
Now we got Doc sitting on this rampage, but the window coming out again, building up so fast from LT Snipers, forcing back, or at least forced to the high ground here. And now Doc does drop, and he's looking for that rampage, trying to set it up into that small room, looking to hit multiple targets, give himself that healing over time effects from the bleeds, he's able to put out onto the team, but Bear is able to find a pick onto the backline first, and it's that Queen ultimate immediately shut down by a spear of RTS, denying that ultimate and giving his team one more shot at defending point A.
40 seconds remaining. It is looking ever more possible for Aquarius to make this hold. 3 ultimates on the side of Bonkers, almost 3 ultimates on the side of Aquarius. This will be an ultimate fest when we have the aggression happening here. Doc switching over from the Queen to the Orisa as well, trying to make something happen. RTS eating a chunk of damage. The duplicate comes out. Same with the beat. This is a messy fight.
Doc decided that he's done playing games. He's on the horse now, trying to play that meta, and it's gonna be Big Tree with that tack visor buying so much space for his team. And now Doc has to spin in, trying to get a touch on the point with only 2 seconds left. Ember's so far in the back, can't he help his team? But it looks like it's gonna be Doc with that fortified, with that Valkyrie now from the help of Scott. But it's the window from LG Sniper is doing so much damage, and it is Aquarius who's able to hold on here.
What? How? That is amazing. I told you, if Aquarius was able to make this hold, it would be legendary. 4 minutes and 2 seconds they were able to hold long enough and survive Gibraltar. But of course, the play of the game has to go to Ember, because why not? Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful play.
Oh, he didn't mean to get that Tracer.
Fully intentional. Don't take that away from him.
I think that is a hat trick for him for play the games. That is 3 on the day for him. But it will be a 4th map for us. As Aquarius was able to hold on there, we're going to be sent to the new game mode of Push. We're going to be visiting Canada.
Yeah, Push is a really interesting game mode. A lot of times in Overwatch, we see very kind of segmented and rehearsed fights where you fight at this checkpoint, you fight here, and then you move on. Push is kind of one of those interesting game modes rather, where you can fight almost anywhere in the map, and if you play your cards right, it can be a beneficial fight depending on how and when you take that fight. So I wasn't a huge fan of it at first, if I'm going to be completely honest, but it's grown on me at this point.
Yeah, no, the game mode took a little bit for everyone to figure out. I want one scrim block where people are not allowed to push the bot more than 10 meters. I think that'd be a really fun, like, arcade or just a fun mode to do. Just because then essentially all you have to do, as soon as you're up by any amount on this game mode, you don't have to push anymore. You can win this by 1 meter and then just choose to take fights where you feel you have an advantage. And that's so unique to this game mode. That so it really does let their teams kind of craft their strategies around the topography of the map and the heroes they want to run.
Yeah, and as we're looking at, I believe, New Queen Street here, we did see Doc play Junker Queen. I feel like push maps are kind of the one place that Junker Queen kind of lives in the meta right now, so we potentially could see a Junker Queen. It's a very niche pick at this point, but I'm all for the niche picks, and I love seeing the Queen herself come out, especially on her map. Please.
That is true. It is on New Queen Street. But I believe before we get you into the action here, we're going to be taking a quick break here. So don't forget to join us on the other side. All right, everybody, welcome back from that very quick break here. We are bringing you new Queen Street here in just a moment. I'm really excited about this map for one possible hero swap, and it's Genji.
Okay.
I've seen some of my my good old friends over in the EU start to pick up some Genji on this point a bit, instead of the Echo. And if you're a good Genji, I've seen people make it work. There's something about New Queen Street in the small rooms and the high ground, lots of good wall climbing spots, and really good blade spots as well. A very long map for those dash resets.
That would be really interesting. I feel like, I don't know, you definitely can make an argument for it, but when we look at players like Bear and Ember, who have kind of been going crazy on the Echo, the question is that risk versus reward? Do they feel comfortable switching off of that Echo to go something like that Genji that can get a lot of miles on this map, but maybe they haven't practiced as much because, like you said, it's not quite as popular? Or do they want to stay with something that they're a little bit more comfortable on? Or if you're Bear, just neither. Go with the Bastion again.
Absolutely. And as we jump into the map here, also good time to don't forget to follow us on Twitter here and join our Discord. Links are in chat. But it looks like it will be more dive here into the Junker Queen of RTS.
Well, I love it. I asked for it. I wanted some more Junker Queen. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. Those big trees instantly annihilated.
Shan is taken out on the res there. Bear into the turret form to try to avenge some of his fallen team members. RTS is able to trade one back in this 4v3, but it does look like Aquarius or Bonkers is holding strong here with that dive. Dog jumping in on the left-hand side of here on the map on that coast side, and it's Humble taking down Bear as the bot is starting to get pushed.
Victory will be able to find a Humble, but I think it's just too little too late, unfortunately. Humble on that Tracer will be able to get back onto the point very quickly. Doc with a beautiful leap, able to stall out the momentum a little bit, place the shield perfectly, and just kind of completely block out this little side pathway.
Doc is trying to get out there, just misses jump. I don't think he's going to get punished too heavily for it, but he might. There's Bear in that turret form doing so much damage as he roams around the map, spouting out bullets left and right, and he does take down Doc. LT Sniper right there with his Bastion, able to get a second kill in this fight, but it's Humble deciding this fight is not over, taking out that Mercy and pulling out that Pulse Bomb. And now massive amount of DPS here missing for the side of Aquarius with Victory going down. Ember is able to find the Bastion. Now that's a lot of space, but RTS does decide to commit the Junker Queen. Only finding one anti, and it won't be enough, as it looks like Bonkers is now pushing forward.
And this is kind of where we're starting to see the fault or the flaw of this Junker Queen, where we have so many very fast moving characters on side of Bonkers that they're just kiting the Junker Queen around, and this is why we're going to see RTS switch onto the Ramatra instead, have a little bit more range, a little bit more versatility, and a little bit more lockdown to stop characters like Ember, like Scott, like Humble from just having their way with RTS here.
Bear now swapping over to that Sim being a bit of a glass cannon over here. He does get locked down from the dive of Doc here, but now the Kitsune Rush from the side of Aquarius, trying to deny this butt scratch, and it looks like that Kiri Rush will give them the temporary power that they need. But now copy from Ember, he's talking to Ramatra, he's now in ultimate form. That ultimate won't end till that copy ends. Thankfully enough, that copy ends soon enough, but Ember immediately finds one as he leaves that duplicate form, and he won't stop with just the one. RTS is able to trade a couple back here, and the fight is a little bit messy, but now it's a 3v1 on point. And I don't care how good of a Ramatra you are, you're not winning that.
No, indeed. I mean, Ramatra is very strong, don't get me wrong, and can put out a lot of damage, just not enough in that situation. I saw Ember pop that Annihilation, and I got scared. Anytime we have a Ramatra with that ultimate out, it is deadly. You just can't escape for the most part.
Humboldt now committing that Pulse Bomb in the backline, but Shan swapping over to Lucio, just a little too slippery. Big Tree tries to pull out the attack visor, but is immediately shut down by Ember. It is the side of Bonkers looking real good right now, but it's RTS Sniper at the side of Aquarius using that Ramatra ult. He's going to see how long he can make this one last. He does find a good amount of time with it and finds some purchase on the point. It looks like Aquarius does want to get this bot pushed back the other way.
Yeah, what they got to do is they got to push this bot forward. They got to get rid of these forward spawns for the side of Bonkers. It's just allowing them to either lose a player or lose a fight and then immediately come back and take these fights so much faster. But we are going to see the Kiriko ultimate, the Kitsune Rush get popped, and RTS all by their lonesome just gets taken down.
Yeah, the Kitsune Rush cut in half there from the photon barrier of Bear, but now it's going to be Bear taken out. That Sim is so vulnerable to a dive. The only mobility for Sim being that TP is just getting absolutely pounced on by Doc and Humble.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I know that we saw Bear play the Sim earlier in the series, but into Doc and Humble, who've just been having an amazing night, I'm not sure if I completely agree. Because like you said, Sim just is such a glass cannon. And if you're getting dove on by those two, you just can't survive for very long.
Sim does do damage through the cone of silence of that defense matrix, but now it's Ember again in that copy Ramatra ultimate, trying to put in the damage, able to put in some amount of work, but Ember is always there. Now it's Doc on that Diva, finding one alongside the Humble, getting themselves a team fight win.
That was a bit ominous. Ember is always there. There's no escape. Ember's always watching. Ember will always find the kill.
RTS is now rushing out of spawn to try to deny the cap here. It looks like Bonkers is going to wisely back up, but that's Humble hitting the pulse bomb onto Shan. He does not miss twice. Able to find that mass pick onto a Lucio. And now Ember's also sitting there chipping in work, saying it's not all about Humble finding that pick onto the remaining backliner. And now it looks like Aquarius is not looking too healthy nor too plentiful on the point, and the bot's going to get moving again.
Oh no, and they are pushing forward. Shan just trying to slow down that progress, but will be taken. Actually stays alive a little bit longer, now gets taken down. The Kitsune Rush on the side of Aquarius is popped, same with the wall. Doc trying to stay alive. Ember finds two. Bear is credited with that D-Mech, but is it enough? I'm not sure.
We got 3 ults here committed for the side of Aquarius. That Pulse Bomb isn't able to find much, and now the later Kitsune Rush from the side of Sexy looks like it's doing a lot more work here. The bot's inching ever closer to that final checkpoint. RTS is hiding around that corner, waiting for the respawns in and letting that Terror Surge go. Is able to find a massive pick onto the Mercy of Bonkers. That's a lot of healing done and a lot of extra damage missing. But now Humble finding one and a second one with that Pulse Bomb. There is now no tank for the side of Aquarius. No one here to hold the space, just LT Sniper alone as an Ana. Shan's gonna try to get a touch in here, but now Bear's TPing into point. Maybe the Sim TP and the Sim turret can be enough. He does get RTS back to the fight as quickly as possible. Now he's spinning, trying to find Aquarius some space on the point.
Oh, and the bot is just inching ever closer and closer to the end here. Aquarius doing their best to hold out just a little bit longer. Big Tree stalling out a little bit, but gets taken down. Shan now here stalling out on the Kiriko, also falls as well. There's no one left. I think this bot, RTS is here. Finally runs onto the point, but is immediately taken down as well. Look at this, the bot is just moving so close. Doc does get an absorb and eat from the Tracer Pulse Bomb, and finally the Bonkers team wins. But wow, that was a very messy end fight there.
The Sim TP cutting the time from spawn almost in half there for Aquarius, doing everything they can to try to get back to that point. But it's Ember. I think that that's for 4 for 4?
That's 4 for 4.
Good on him. Good on him. Going crazy on the act. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
Insane.
It is interesting. We never really saw a hit scan ever come out to try to counter an Echo from either side, really. Except for Gibraltar. We did see it on Gibraltar.
We did see Big Tree try to pick up the Soldier a couple of times as well, and just not really find purchase in the comp in the game mode. Was typically, forced out by a character like Humble, who would just run down these characters, especially if you're looking up in the sky. You might not be prepared for that Tracer to come around the corner. So I think overall, just the team composition and the team play from Bonkers won out at the end of the day.
I will say, as a special shout out to all my ranked teammates, Soldier into a Mercy pocket does not do well. It doesn't do well. Mercy can heal almost as fast as you can hit shots. Sometimes you do need a bit of burst damage from a Sojourn, from a Widowmaker, from a Cassidy even.
Yep.
Or even an Ana to the 3-tap of fire or something to that effect. Some punch behind it.
Exactly. And we did see a little bit of punch coming out of LT Sniper on that. Ana was able to be a menace, at least to Humble, who was struggling to take this Ana down. Just unfortunately, there was another DPS Ember to pick up any sort of slack that Humble may have left. And then vice versa, Humble was going crazy on New Queen Street, just finding every single pick that they needed to.
Absolutely. And also shout out to Shan getting off some crazy reses. The backline for Aquarius did look absolutely great. RTS was doing his best there, trying to initiate, trying to go first. But sometimes dive is just too much, too overwhelming, and it can be a lot.
Sometimes you just can't escape. You can't peel out that damage, and before you know it, the rest of your team is gone, and you're standing alone in a 1v5.
Absolutely. I believe that will also get us all wrapped up here on the night. Hamster, is there anything you would like to promote before we head off here?
Sure. Yeah. Make sure to follow me on my Twitter at Mr. Hamster ATK. And if you're not following collegiate esports, make sure to follow Shenandoah Esports. I do a lot of casting there, so give them a follow. You might find something you like.
Absolutely. And with that, don't forget to join our Discord over at Marmoris Esports, as well as our Twitter. Thank you guys for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. GG's and good night.